Pelicans win 135-123 over the Kings. Chris, how many times have they beat them this year?
Jerry Reed.
Presented to you by the Birdsall Lawfirm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk Located at 918 Poydras Street. By the Superdome, give me a call at 504-523-5413. If you're someone who has been involved in an accident, the Birdsall Lawfirm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk. Chris, Chaz, Ross, and Five joined tonight. Huge win. We're going to get into it all. A lot of comments. We're going to make sure you smash the like button. Got a lot to talk about. Five, I want to start with you tonight. One of the more important parts of this game, I thought, was the lineup there in the first quarter. They go on a 15-0 run. Sacramento had kind of come back there. We got off to a good start, and then Sacramento made a run. And then this lineup, Jared, of Jose, Herb, Trey, Zion, and JV, 15-0 run. I think Trey Murphy goes 3 of 3 from deep during that run. What did you think about that lineup right there?
I just thought they were playing through JV, right? He was able to command a double team, and they were just kind of playing through that, which allowed Trey to get, swing threes. And that's just something we've all been kind of saying from jump. Just play through them when you don't have a ball handler or a guard that can just get in the lane and create. I mean, that's your creation. That's your self-creation, right? And it allows you to be open and free. It helps when Herb Jones knocks down his first three. It helps when Trey Murphy knocks down his. It helps when Jose Alvarado, who played amazing tonight, knocks down his. It's contagious, man. It's contagious when you have other shooters on the court. Ross, we talked about this multiple times. Where Herb knocks down his first three, everything else just opens up. Pause. Like it just does. It allows you to be free. It allows Zion. He had 3 points in the first half or some shit like that.
I think he had 3 in the first quarter.
First quarter.
But again, it wasn't like he was dominating the game, right? He was just making a simple play. But I think those early threes by Trey, by Herb, by Jose allowed the third quarter to look like it did.
100% Five. Chaz, we got to talk about CJ. CJ over his last 5 games has scored 29 or more points. I don't know in that stretch what he's averaging, but you want to talk about a guy finding his rhythm before the playoffs. This is a huge thing for the Pelicans.
Yeah. See, man, damn, another 40-minute game. I don't like that. But I don't like that shit. But yeah, but before I speak, rest in peace, OJ Simpson. Got to start off with the important thing. 2,003 yards in 14 games in a 14-game season. Probably could have ran for 3,000. But anyway, yeah, CJ, man, it's been incredible again. Career. I tweeted this. CJ is an elite career number 2 option. Like CJ is not a man who's void of confidence. You read that article we was talking about in the group chat earlier today. It's like CJ I got the numbers on my side here. Not necessarily the age, but I have better days, in my past than in my future probably, but history is on my side as far as the numbers, and he's shown that down the stretch, with the exception of maybe the Spurs game. But that was, what can you do? But truthfully, CJ, he was exceptional tonight. Didn't get too crazy. 7 assists, also 4 rebounds. Only one? Was it 1? No turnovers and 2 steals. Man, was exemplary tonight. This was a game I was very worried about. I was like, all right, when CJ gonna turn into a pumpkin? When is it gonna happen? Because the Kings shoot a lot of threes. They shoot a lot of fucking threes. They made it interesting. They made it interesting at a certain point. But every time they made it interesting, the Pelicans came through. Big shot. CJ, big 3 after big 3. And it was just it was impressive. There
are a lot of runs where Sacramento was coming back. Chaz, and I mean, he hit a couple pull-up 3. Like, he hit some big time threes. Some just momentum buster threes. Chris, man, I gotta give you your flowers. On this show, we hold everybody accountable. I gotta give you your flowers. You posted a clip today. You posted a clip today about the Sacramento Kings.
I got it. Whoa. I got it. I could play it.
You could get into the room. Could you? I mean,
go ahead.
You got it up right now?
8 players play at least 73 games. This isn't 1994. It doesn't happen anymore, bro. It's not happening next year. I don't
think they're a top
hope,
8 team? Top 8 team? Wow.
No.
What?
I don't.
Go ahead.
Now you said something beforehand, and speaking of being
I thank the Lord. I thank Coach Harbaugh.
Look, man. Everyone needs to know my problem is not with Sacramento Kings. I've never been to Sacramento. I don't have dreams of going to Sacramento. I think Vlade Divac was a solid center. Like, I have nothing but nice things to say about Chris Webber and Mike Bibby. Like, I mean, I even like certain parts of their team. However, sometimes, you see things. Sometimes you see things early before everybody else. The reactions on that show when I said that was like, wow, what? How could you say that? Well, I mean, look, and right now, they got the tiebreaker with the Lakers, but they staring the 9th seed in the face if they don't figure it out. So it's just more so, man, injuries happen. And my issue is not with the Kings, it's with that approach. And I hope the Pelicans and other teams keep this in mind. You gotta stay aggressive when you in certain situations with certain players and certain rosters and certain conferences. You have to stay aggressive with your approach and building teams. The Kings kind of ran it back, brought through the same players. Certain players regressed, certain players got injured, and here they are. So I was not concerned about this game at all. I thought it was going to be over by the third quarter. I have nothing positive to say about Sacramento Kings as a basketball team. They don't play defense. They shoot a bunch of threes, but the Pelicans have things to kind of neutralize those things. So thank you, Justin, for giving me my flowers and saying that I was right. Because goddamn it, sometimes on this show we know what we're talking about. I hope that was really good analysis.
That's analysis right there for you. If you're looking for analysis, that's analysis. Speaking of Ross, all right, let's talk Zion. So Zion Williamson tonight. So what he did in Phoenix, the biggest question was, could he be consistent with it? He was a superstar. He was the best player in the gym. Well, tonight, I think maybe Jared or Chaz alluded to it. 3 points in the first quarter, 8 points in the second quarter, gets injured. Okay. It's one thing to play through injury, but it's another thing to play through injury, sit out probably 30 minutes of real time, and then come back and be the best player on the floor and completely take over that third quarter. And then the rest of the game, fourth quarter, he closed it. It was done. It's over. We found our closer, by the way. I don't know if anyone noticed, but the closer is Zion Williamson. I don't know. Like, I don't know if this was ever cloudy or anything. The closer of the Pelicans is Zion Williamson. Go ahead, Ross.
I don't know why. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought you were about to say Dyson for some reason. I was like, that in my mind, I was like, I know you're not about to say Dyson, huh? But go ahead. my bad.
What?
No,
I don't know why. Go ahead.
No, it was a great performance. I thought he took over sort of when the team needed him to take over there in the third quarter, especially 5 of 5 again from the line, which I think is huge. He continues to get more comfortable. I thought there was a set in the first quarter where we caught him on a curl, kind of on the weak side. I thought that was a really nice set, something that we, in theory, could go back to in the future. Been playing off the ball. And look, you continue to see that little bit of progression. I mean, a couple of, we call them floaters, call them pull-up jumpers, call them whatever the hell you want to call them. A couple of them were true pull-ups. I thought a couple were just him stopping short of getting all the way to the rim. The reason he only had 3 points in that first quarter was because I thought he was a few times trying to get a little too close to the basket again. And he was kind of almost dribbling himself into contest. And then starting kind of in that second quarter and further down the game, I think you just saw like the offensive repertoire just take over, and they really didn't have an answer for it.
Jared, it's pretty evident. Zion Williamson's out of the mid-range. He shot a 3-pointer tonight, first quarter. Now he's starting to shoot this mid-range. He's starting to see this little floater. I mean, how much like this, I feel like just opens his game, right? Because we want to talk about, defense is sagging. Well, now if Zion's to shoot this 2 or 3 times and also hit it at a 66% clip, what are you going to do with him now?
The first step is super elite. So if he just, it looked like Jordan. I know that sounds crazy in theory, right? I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan, but it looked like the stutter. It looked like Michael Jordan in just in that instant. I'm sure you've probably watched a ton of tape just looking at it. Also, I just want to, as a caveat, Chris, if the Sacramento Kings win their last 2 games, they'll have 47 wins on the season. Last year they had 48 in a season where there was an abundance of wins available. I just want to throw that out there. You could make the argument this season was even harder than it was last season, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so in this sense, right, I think Zion he's maturing in front of our eyes. I probably said this maybe a couple months ago, but now it's more evident. He's super confident. I thought the third quarter when he saw Harrison Barnes on him, it's like, this motherfucker can't touch me. Like, get to the rim is easy. And then you had the shooters. I think that's the most important thing we need to talk about. Just having the space out there and a competent Cody Zeller out there that was like, hey, all right, fuck it. We're going to run the screen. If they throw it to me, it's an automatic DHO. It's like they knew what to do. And that's more than half the battle with this team. Just knowing and having a plan. I would dare say that the coaching staff had a really great game. I would also add that, like, hey, man, just playing simple basketball just makes sense for a team that struggles sometimes to play simple basketball.
Jared, I got to shout out Desmond King here because he's definitely listening to that LeBron, JJ Redick podcast. Shout out to you, Desmond, because I learned today what a court top screen was. And look, I didn't never heard that before in my life. And then when he broke it down, it was great. Chaz, one thing we need to talk about, you had a great tweet tonight. You said that the way Zion Williamson's guarded, it's I'm losing the tweet here, but it's dangerous. Officiated is dangerous. Could you kind of explain what you mean by that?
I mean, he's gotten at least at minimum 3 injuries that we know of at this point that were visible. And you gotta this didn't have much to do with the officiating, but how Gary Harris was reprimanded could lead to more incidents like that when he, dove into his knee. I just think it's crazy to see, all things considered. Like, I don't know how much of that is like the league is kind of like growing disinterested in him, or how much of that is his own thing, because the league, I mean, we can all, in the like the world and the society, we can all kind of like to think that everything's, fair and square across the board. Like, nah, the league got a little bit to do with how things go, who get what whistle, it's a real thing. So it's just interesting to me that he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt with some of those whistles. Even on that play where he hurt his wrist, I was like, he was fouled. Like, motherfucker got fouled right there. It's another injury to that left hand, and it's like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all gonna just keep letting this happen at this rate? But to his credit, fought through it. You would have never thought anything was wrong with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? You would have never thought anything was wrong with him. It was a very impressive game by Zion. Very impressive game. Had a really impressive block on Donovan Mitchell. I don't know what the fuck Donovan Mitchell was thinking. He was out of his mind. Really
Davian, or how do you pronounce it? How's it?
It don't matter.
Davion.
Boy, that was a bad draft pick. He figured it out, but you drafted Fox. You already had Fox. You drafted Davion and Halliburton. God damn. And you kept Davion?
You already had Halliburton and you drafted Davion.
Oh, yeah, and you grabbed it. Like, man, that was crazy. But overall, I just thought Zion played well. Hit all his free throws, facilitated well. Had a couple issues with his pockets getting picked on the turnovers. Got to get out of the double and triple teams earlier. To Fox's point, he did kind of dribble himself into coverage a little bit. And I like the confidence with the jumper. There was one in the fort on the left side where he kind of like floated and shot, and I was like, that's a confident shot. I'm not gonna say it was a good or bad shot, but it was a confident shot. I'll say that.
5 of 5 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
5 of 5 from the free throw line.
Got it. Most impressive.
I really think the most impressive thing that we've seen from Zion in this last month has been, like, I still questioned even a month ago. Great that he's healthy, great that he was playing better, but like I needed to see him consistently get it to like another level in your big games, third and fourth quarters, consistently. Like, not one time on a Wednesday against somebody and then maybe another time somewhere else. Like, to see him consistently take it to another level from an energy perspective, I think in third and fourth quarters over this last month has been like, I think for me, probably the most impressive aspect of his game. Like I think he's now ready to whatever the next step is, go there. Yeah.
Because I think even like the chat and just the general population, people just tend to talk about, it's because he's in shape now. And I think it's kind of a tired argument. Motherfucker been in shape for a little while now.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you attribute him taking that next step to? Is it knowing what's required of him? Do you think kind of like the hierarchy being clearer now? What do you attribute that to?
I think the hierarchy being clear now is one. But I think the other part of it is, like, I don't want to just use the blank, like the bucket term of confidence, but maybe maturity is a better word. Like, I think you said it best, understanding what's required. Like, look, man, it's really clear if this team is going to do anything serious, right? If you're going to win a playoff series, compete in 2 series, maybe try to get to a conference finals or something, like, you have to be the best player on the court. No one else. You have to be that guy. And I feel like that he's sort of he's sort of accepted that at this point. Like, it's, he's a young guy. Like, that's a lot of responsibility. And like it or not everybody just comes in the league ready to accept that responsibility. And I think there's been some growing pains for him, injuries, off the court shit, whatever. But it feels like he's sort of accepted the responsibility. And with that this is a requirement. You get into third and fourth quarters, people are looking at you. Like, they're not looking at, Herb Jones. Great. He's improved a lot this year. Like, fourth quarter, we're not looking for Herb Jones to go get us a basket. We're looking for you to do it. Like, you have to go win this game. Justin just talked about it. Like, we need a closer. You have to be that guy. You're the superstar. So I think it's just maturity, to be honest with you.
Chris, speaking of that, so I wanted to bring up an interesting sequence. So whatever, the Kings cut the lead to like 11 or 9. There was a little momentum there late in the fourth. Or I think out of a timeout, Herb got ripped. And it turned into a layup for the Kings. And instantly Zion Williamson's like, nope, here we go. Just give me the ball. Give me the ball. He starts like literally directing. And I remember a couple months ago, this whole panel, we all talked about, look, man, if you want to be the guy, you want to be the dude, you got to go get the basketball. And like, that's what Ross is saying. I saw it again tonight. He was like, all right, Herb, we tried that, coach. Like, nah, give me the basketball. That's what I felt like. And he just kind of went and just, that was it. As Jared said, like, he saw Harrison Barnes on him. All right, you're done.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he started bringing the ball up, and he started kind of playing off of Sacramento, eventually trapping them. And look, man, I mean, I think you guys all made good points about maturity, for example. Part of that is maturity. I think another element of it is just like reps, being in these situations consistently for a period of time, being healthy and being, having so many amount of examples throughout the year in which he can be in these situations and just getting used to what teams are trying to throw at him. And some nights it's going to be easier than others, depending on what the matchup is. But, there was a stretch, man, to where, like, that stretch was important, but there was a part to where, I think in the third quarter, Sacramento got the lead down to like 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Zion, and we talked about it in the chat, Zion comes down and gets to the free throw line, gets to the 5. I don't remember exactly what happened after that, but then the next possession, he comes down, takes a pull-up. The next possession after that, he gets the ball. He comes back down and gets back to the free throw line. It's like mentally, it's like it's all clicking and coming through. So when's the right time to take this shot? When's the right time to make this play? Later on, I think in that quarter, maybe it could have been a fourth, he passes the ball back-to-back times to Dyson Daniels for threes. The first time, Dyson misses. Listen, Dyson, my dog, you got to be a motherfucker to pass it to him again at that point when you know who you are. Dyson ends up, he makes the 3 the next time. Zion, I think, is growing beyond just when it comes to maturity. He's understanding the responsibility. I watch him sometimes on defense, and it's like, you'll see him come, some possessions kind of just going through the motions. And then the next time you look, you're like, I guess I got to go up and get this block now, man. And, he goes up and makes it, it makes it happen. But one thing we haven't been able to see consistently in these kind of games and late, and it goes back to Ross's point, is him being able to be like you just saying, no matter who's out there, we're depending on you on both sides of the floor to put a nail in the coffin in this game. CJ carried as far as he could in an incredible game, CJ McCollum, and pretty much from start to finish. Incredible game from CJ. But Zion, you're the closer. You're the running game. And what happens is eventually those same rotations that are crisper early in the game, those same dudes that are jumping out there taking that, going out for charges or taking the contact, whatever the case may be, they're not looking to do that the same way in the fourth quarter, down by 10, down by 8. So, Keon Ellis, dudes that ain't really played out there, they don't want that same physical game that Zion's going to bring. And you saw a couple easy layups there to close the game, man. So I think it's a lot of it is understanding who he is, the maturity, and just the reps, dog.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just think that it's, Chris, have you also noticed like this? And he works with Aaron Miles and Jarrett. You've seen this too. He's starting to, once again, beginning of the year, we talked about how he fades away from contact, right? You're starting to see this little rip move that like James Harden made famous, right? You're starting to see a lot more of that. And like, those are like, and it's so quick that it's not really a sweep through because it's in his motion going to shoot. So they're rewarding him free throws. I've seen him do this now for the last like week, 2 weeks now, where he's getting easy free throws. Like, are you seeing those type of moves as well? Like with maturity?
Yes. But the key with them is that they don't always work, right?
Right.
There's a few times where he got ripped up trying it.
Right.
But just staying the course, just knowing it's not going to work every time. Talking about we got 440 people.
I'm about to say, I want to say cheers. This is a record here, fellas. So cheers, everyone. Smash the like button at midnight. It's incredible. So appreciate everyone that pulled up tonight. Go ahead.
Chris, I was going to say the one another move that is something that we've all been saying he's going to have to go right eventually. Like, and they're starting to force it. I thought today it was one of the little like I guess floaters he shot was coming from the left wing, drove hard right, pulled, stopped short. It wasn't at the elbow. It was well inside of that, but didn't try to get all the way to the basket. Didn't try to spin back to his left hand. Just got to 4 feet and just elevated. Defenders nowhere in sight, and it's like he jumped so damn high that he's almost like shooting the ball down into the rim to a certain degree, and it's uncontested. And I think he can. I think when he's on the left side of the court, he can continue to sort of utilize some of those type of finishes too.
Good point. Jarrett, there are 2 threes tonight with Jose in transition. One was someone who threw it? Was it CJ? CJ's struggling here in transition passing. Was it CJ?
That was Trey Murphy.
Trey threw it. It skipped all the way to the corner without hesitation. Jose just shoots it, nails it. They had a 2-on-1 with Zion. Mitchell actually backs up to take the lob, and Jose is like, fuck it, I'm going to pull it again. Hits it. Like, he was huge again tonight. He goes 5 of 8 from the field, 4 of 6 from deep, 14 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds. Also, when they went on that 15-0 run with JV and Jose, it's like JV really benefits having a legit point guard out there. I thought Jose created a lot of advantages tonight, man. He was nails. He was really good.
Yeah, just thought his confidence just spread around to everybody else. He's done this multiple times. We've seen this. I just think Sacramento is one of those teams that he understands that he can play against. Right? If they're going to play Davion, then Jose will definitely get run, and usually he gets the better of him. Right? I mean, especially when he knocks down that first one for himself, everything else is just on the table. Right? He feels like he can do anything. But those 2 threes that you're talking about, the one in the corner is crazy. Like, no
hesitation.
Like, who even thinks to do like that's one of that I remember the movie oh my god. Denzel, not Denzel Washington. Shit, wrong black man. Samuel L. Jackson, basketball coach.
Coach Carter.
Coach Carter. Thank you. All right, what's the dude? He shot the 3 in the corner.
Cruz.
Yeah.
He turns around.
T-Mo,
what is it? One of your biggest fears?
Yeah. Like that dude, he knocking down. It's the same fucking thing. Like, you gonna shoot that shit? Well, you got to be confident enough to shoot it. A dude being 5'10" in the NBA or 5'11", you gotta be a confident motherfucker to do some shit like that.
Yeah, make sure I'll smash that like button. Everybody in here, smash that like button.
I really thought I'm glad y'all brought that shot up because I thought Jose was great again. And I think 5 said it best when he makes his first one, he's just like a different player. But I really thought that one in the corner had more to do with the rest of the team than it did Jose. That was one of those. Everybody else is making hadn't missed a damn shot. I'm getting in on the fun. Like, that to me was one of those, like, just a pure momentum. CJ had just made a bunch of threes. Trey had just made a bunch. I was like, man, fuck it, I'm shooting. Like, because if it goes in, like, you're right there in front of your own bench. It just sort of like sets the whole thing up. I'm glad he made it, but that was one that felt like I'm just trying to get in. Like, I'm trying to get in on the fun.
So speaking of 3-pointers, Chaz, 43-point attempts tonight. CJ and Trey both combined for 24. CJ goes 9 of 12. Did I miss something? What did I miss?
Get in on the fun.
No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
Keep it running, man. Keep it running.
CJ McCollum 9 of 12 from deep tonight. Trey Murphy 6 of 12. They combine to go 15 of 24. But more importantly, Chaz, they get up again 43-point attempts. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they got up 38 against the Suns. They win both of those games. It's a trend in the right direction.
Yeah, as long as they can stay consistent with it, because I mean, again, they say all of the right things, right? For me, man, look, I'm waiting. I'm waiting on them to come out and shoot 19 one night, and I'm gonna just be pissed off. It might happen Sunday. For some reason, I think it's gonna happen Sunday. And it's just I just hope that they can see that this is working and they got the confidence, like Five just spoke about confidence. I hope they got the confidence to understand just it's the way you need to play. It's the way you need to play. This is the way the game is played now. I wish I would have got the author's name or that NBC article or CBS article he wrote earlier. You saw CJ said, like, look, somebody in the starting lineup got to shoot these motherfucking threes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Trey, he's like, I think he had the funniest quote in the whole thing was, 3 points or more than 2 points, like, So I and it's like, it's really that simple, bro. And I think even the Pelicans, the way they defended Keegan Murray, you could tell they understood that. Like, you know what I'm saying? They understood that, we got to watch him because he's a deadly 3-point shooter. And it's like, well, you got a couple of deadly 3-point shooters on your team as well. So you need to take advantage of that. I thought tonight, as great as Trey shot, he had a couple wide open ones that I trust him to make like the next time. Like, you know what I'm saying? CJ had a couple that I'm like, oh, that shit had no business. Like, he had no business hitting that shot, but that shit went in. Like, you know what I'm saying? It worked out. So it's just simple math, man. It's basic arithmetic. It's real GED student-esque. It's nothing to think that deeply upon. It's like, just to shoot the threes, man. It's the great equalizer. It gives you a chance. The reason why
how the Kings got back in the game tonight.
The reason
hit 3 threes in a
able
row.
to get it. I tweeted about it all night. Like, it don't matter what the score is. The reason the Kings were able to get it down to 2 is because they shoot threes and they never stop. Like, they just
they really don't.
Speaking of shooting threes, I hate to even bring this up, but Chris, you know what Dyson's shooting from 3 since December 1st?
You tell me.
I think
he's clipped up. That right there.
I think he's like right at 37% after tonight.
Okay. I mean, look, he listen.
That's a big jump up.
One of the things that do y'all know that CJ's 4 threes away from the single season record for the Pelicans? Anybody know that?
No, I didn't know that.
He's 4.
He's 4 away from Peja. Yes, of course. Of course. He's 4 away from Peja. No, but look though. What's funny is top five is CJ this year. You got Peja, Ryan Anderson 3. CJ from last year is 4. Trey Murphy is 5. Wow. And Devontae Graham at 21 is 6.
Devontae Graham's top 6?
Yeah,
how
man.
Fuck he get on the list? Damn.
Yeah.
Did you want to, Chris? Speaking of that, holding people accountable, did you want to talk about Cody Zeller tonight or no?
Oh, dog! Look! I don't mind giving people flowers when they, when they have a good game. Cody played well. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even need a war helmet to do it. Like he came out there like CJ got some of the best looks coming off screens to where nobody was in a vicinity that I can vividly remember, like in the areas in which he was getting them around the wing, around the wing, like, and it was all off Cody. And I'll give him credit in Willie Green. I think outside of that, just his know-how in a few different situations, knowing defensively where to be, grabbing a couple timely rebounds, but his screen setting eventually opens him up for a wide open dunk. Just stuff like that you can't, to where the Kings are like, it's late, we're not getting around these screens. I think Keon and Harrison Barnes, they both have a miscommunication and they chase whoever Cody is screening for. Cody gets the easiest, a practice dunk. That's just based off of his ability to make the right play. He opened up. We talk about screen assists, man. I mean, it was, he had a Rudy Gobert quarter. It was that solid. So, I definitely got to shout out because JRE was, he didn't play long, but it was not good. It was not good.
I wish Zion would learn how to screen like Cody does. If Zion could screen like Cody does, I mean, could you imagine? Like, Jared, you even pointed out today about screen assists. Like, what did he play? Cody played 9 minutes tonight. I mean, when he comes in the game, you know what he's going to do. I thought he did pretty well tonight.
Justin, you got to give Zion time. It took Cody Zeller 74 years to learn how to screen like this. Zion's been in the league for maybe only 4 years. Just pick this stuff up.
Shaking his head.
Chad shaking his head like, yeah.
You don't pick this stuff up that quick, man. Give him time.
Cody played basketball at Miami. Well, in Miami, I was gonna say University of Miami, but in Miami, he probably learned the fundamentals of basketball there, right? Learning how to screen, and that's probably why he got on the court in the finals. I mean, he probably got demolished by Joker, but in a sense, like that guy can play basketball.
Yeah. It was just very evident tonight. There were a lot of lineups that I actually liked that made sense. There was spacing, there was movement, there was screening. The offense never got stagnant. They put up 135 points. You can kind of get my gist. Chaz, I want to shout out Trey Murphy here. 45 minutes tonight. Gotta be a career high, huh?
Trey gonna live a long time. I'm just reading the minutes the Warriors played compared to the minutes the Pelicans played. I don't know what the fuck happened tonight with the minutes distribution because this is crazy. Yeah, Trey played
45.
45 minutes. I mean, that's kind of crazy. CJ played 40, of course, but Trey Murphy, shout out to him, 50% from the field, 6-12 from the beyond the arc. Only missed one free throw, 7-8. 5 rebounds again, awesome. 4 assists, only 1 turnover, only 1 foul. Clean. This is a clean, effective, efficient game. Again, he missed a couple that I'm like, I trust him to make those. Didn't see any crazy shots, really. You know what I'm saying?
Ripped on that one take. I think it was in the 4th, maybe when the Kings were.
It was like a weird handoff between him and Herb, right?
No, I thought he was going downhill and just got ripped. I think he was just like over dribbling. I'm picking here, but I mean, he was great.
I mean, look, if you got ripped, But shit. But yeah, overall. Yeah, it happens. Overall, clean. This efficient game from him. Another one in the books, and Trey trying to get that money, man. Trey trying to get that money. Trey trying to, go ahead.
Let's not tiptoe around it, right? Like Trey Murphy played more minutes tonight, and Cody Zeller played some minutes tonight to make up for the minutes from the person that didn't play, right? So.
Hope all's well on that side,
right? And it sounds like it was a person. I think it said personal.
Oh, Larry, yeah.
I hope everything's fine there. But but moving forward, what do y'all want to see here? Like, is this something that is sustainable, right? Especially with Brandon coming back on Sunday,
Probably. I'm probably see Najee get some of those minutes.
I mean,
probably see Najee get some of those.
Look, I'm not saying Zeller's going to begin minutes. I don't care about that. What I do care about, though, is that they clearly had a lineup out there tonight, and we started off the show where they go 15-0. They have Herbs on the floor. You got JV, you got Space, and you got Zion. Mm-hmm. And the lineup just made so much sense. And 5, literally Reggie Miller during that run goes, yeah, man. I mean, the Pelicans playing 4-3 because you got double JV in the post.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm
starting to, I'm at this point that, these announcers aren't watching basketball games. Nobody's watching games anymore. Fuck. God, you listen to Shaq and Charles, and motherfuckers talking about these teams don't play defense. I was like, well, fuck. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
have you not seen the Willie Green lineup seat drop?
Also, he said Barkley said something about us being on a 5-game winning streak. And I saw Chris and Grubb go 5-game winning streak. You like what?
Like, how is the general public supposed to learn about basketball if these are the motherfuckers that they're learning from? Like, but again, I digress. Yeah, playing through JV, game 79, and we finally, throwing the ball in the post, creating a double team, swing, and you getting open threes. Again, I think Ross Texas, it's open shots. Yeah, finally. We get to shoot open shots. We look like a fucking NBA team for once, right? Like, this is what the good teams do. They know what they do well. If the team would have lost tonight and they still would have shot those shots, I wouldn't have been mad at all. Like, you can't be mad when people miss good shots. That shit just happens. Like, I wouldn't trip on if Zion misses a midi, the midi Chaz talked about. I'm not, like, half the time that's probably a more effective shot than anything else anybody else could have created in that moment. So you might as well practice missing this shit now, because in the playoffs you're gonna have to shoot that. So get comfortable missing. I wish this was game 29 rather than 79, but we got to accept what we can accept, and hopefully this team can see, like, hey, if we play this way consistently, good things will happen.
Yeah. And shout out once again, record numbers right now. Appreciate y'all. Everyone pulled up, man. This is awesome. Make sure you smash the like button. So Ross, we got to talk about what this win means. Absolutely there on that comment. What this win means, right? So Pelicans remain 6th. They go to Golden State tomorrow, as Chaz said. There was no, I don't know if Steph played tonight, but there was definitely no Klay Thompson or Draymond Green.
No Clay, no Dre, and no Gary Payton.
Okay, so they're obviously gearing up for the Pelicans. Tonight, Pelicans go with Trey Murphy 45, CJ 40, Zion 31. Like, they had to win tonight. Okay, so you got Phoenix, Golden State, or I'm sorry, you have Phoenix at Sacramento tomorrow, Pelicans at Golden State. And I had tweeted out with 6 minutes, I'm like, Mike, Coach Brown, please punt. Just punt and get ready. Instantly, the next play, De'Aaron Fox, bam, twists his ankle. I'm like, fuck. I knew you weren't going to blow that lead. Like, we knew we were going to win that game. Hopefully, the Kings can do a solid for the Pelicans tomorrow and beat Phoenix.
Justin,
What?
We've seen this team collapse many times. Stop saying they cut it down to single digits and like a minute.
Died. Come on, I was never nervous. Wait, hold on.
If Trey Murphy doesn't make that, if we don't get that offensive rebound or whatever it was, Trey Murphy doesn't make that 3-pointer, that game gets dicey. To answer your question, to the unfortunate,
gotta shout this comment. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Appreciate you. La on the door. The win tonight means nothing in the grand scheme of things. Like, you're in the same spot you were coming in tonight. Like, you got to win. I mean, like, I'm with Chris. I don't think the Kings are that good of a team. I think Phoenix beats them tomorrow. So, like, you really are in the same spot. And I mean, I think you want to give yourself the cushion of winning. But yeah, I mean, I think Golden State is gearing up. Like, it's not going to be an easy game. I think Golden State has I don't want to, they have confidence against us. Let's just that might be the kind way of putting it. That's another place, like, you've got to go in there almost like you did in Phoenix last week. You've got to go in there and prove something, because they don't respect you. Not one fucking iota. And so I think, if anything, put the chip on your shoulder, get on the damn plane, get over there, and you got to win another basketball game.
Was it Draymond? So CJ had that thing at All-Star break, right, Chris? Was it Draymond that said nobody's scared of the Pelicans?
Yes.
So once again, this is another opportunity, right? Draymond's punked us for a couple of years. He said a lot of shit in post games. He said a lot of shit in just regular conferences, all this stuff on the floor. As Ross said, this is probably, for me, the ultimate test, right? Back to back, you have an easy out, right? But hey, look, I played 45 minutes. Zion's left wrist is hurting. If they show up tomorrow and they handle business, what do you think that does for this team and moving into the playoffs?
It prepares them. You could say that they got a head start on the playoffs. Because you're talking about must-win kind of games, like winner. You don't have to look at it as win or go home, but I mean, I would be looking at it that way. I'd rather not have to play a play-in game against, even if it is Sacramento again, or if it's the Lakers, whoever. I'd rather not. No, I mean, if you can, it's an accomplishment for this franchise to be a 6th seed, man, and have an opportunity at 50 wins. But look, man, I mean, even beyond that, like, yeah, Draymond said what he said, but look, you embarrassed this team on their home floor the last time that you saw them. Brandon was healthy for that game. He's not for this one. But, look, like they rested their guys tonight to kind of gear up for you. And Steph had to play 36 minutes. It was crazy. I talked about it earlier. It was crazy they had to play 36 minutes, against Portland. But I mean, I guess the Pelicans did, on Monday, kind of. They were still Portland kind of hung around. But I mean, look, man, like you win this game, everybody's talking about that Laker game. The Lakers won't have anything else to play for. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like they won't have anything else to play for more than likely. Maybe if Sacramento loses, they can be in a situation where they're playing for a higher position. But you win tomorrow, you take care of business. Like, you're already, I think at this point, I think they're locked into 7. No worse than 7.
Yeah.
But this is the toughest, kind of this is one of the more tougher circumstances you could be looking at in that against that team and that environment, their veteran experience versus, some guys that haven't been in this situation. The first time you played them without Brandon, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but the first game was early in the season in New Orleans.
Yeah, they got their ass kicked. Curry went off.
And it was Zion, right? And Zion was pretty much ineffective. Well, he has a chance to kind of, injuries or not, he has a chance to kind of rewrite that.
And Chris, that second game was no Chris Paul, no Draymond Green. So I can guarantee you the Warriors, they're throwing that shit out. They're not looking at that as like, oh, you got one on us.
It might have been on the first game was on the second half of a back-to-back. Mm-hmm. But Steph didn't play the first half, and go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, it could say a lot. I mean, I think at this point, man, I'm happy that they got the win tonight. I don't know how much I expect them to win or to not win tomorrow. But I will say that I like the confidence and the mentality that they're going in these games with. I mean, but Golden State ain't gonna go down, without a fight tomorrow. Does anybody in here expect the Pelicans to win tomorrow? Let's start with that. Is there anybody that thinks that they have a real opportunity tomorrow to go into that building and win tomorrow?
I think is everybody healthy?
Everybody's healthy.
I think the only reason I say they got a chance is because I've seen the Pelicans blow leads to that team twice on the road. And I think it might have been without Zion. Like, I think because the Pelicans typically, they're a front running team, right? Even tonight, I really think the Kings just ran out of time. Like the Pelicans team, they get out to a big lead and they kind of just keep you away for the rest of the game. I think if the Pelicans jump out to a huge lead, they'll win. I think if it's like a bucket for bucket thing, I think I don't know. Like I say, they were going 4-3. So
I'll tell you this, Dad. They win tomorrow. I think no matter what the Suns do, I think they get the 6th seed.
Wait, I wanted to ask you that. So
that's a good topic to talk about.
Wait, so if they win tomorrow, I'm talking Pelicans.
I think if the Pelicans win tomorrow, no matter what, I think they'll get the 6th seed.
Can I ask you this then? Like, if they lose tomorrow and the Suns win, and then the Suns have to go to Minnesota, which I think Minnesota will play, and the Pelicans then host LA, does LA have some LA will probably beat Memphis tomorrow.
Well, but look, if the Kings lose, if by what you're saying happens, and the Lakers beat Memphis, then the Lakers are playing for seed 8.
Oh.
I think
because the Kings have the time.
So the Lakers could technically beat New Orleans and literally stay in New Orleans and then play again.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I think they're gonna. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying I think the Warriors are in the same boat. I think the Warriors beat you tomorrow. The Warriors beat you tomorrow, then they're going to be looking at getting to the 8th seed and saying, "Yeah, we just whipped y'all's ass a couple days ago. Now we're about to whip your ass again." It's a dangerous situation. Like tomorrow, I think is a must win. You win tomorrow, I agree with Chris. You win tomorrow, you're the 6th. You lose tomorrow.
I think, man, I was watching.
Oh, sorry, Chad.
Go ahead.
What if they both lose tomorrow?
That would be funny. But you know what? I think, man, I really think Minnesota, now that they know that they're not getting the number 1 seed, I think now they get to choose who they want to play. And I think that last Phoenix game, I don't think they're going to look at that as like, well, fuck, we're going to get a head start on this series since we got to play these motherfuckers anyway. I think they're going to look at it like, I don't know. I think we'd rather play the Pelicans. And I think they're going to, and because, I was looking and thinking about this last night, because I was like, why would the Warriors rest anyone? Even if the Warriors stayed at like, let's say 9 or 10, right? At a certain point, the Lakers and the Warriors and the Kings, at minimum, they starting to fight for home court advantage. Because I know the Lakers do not want to go to Sacramento, even though because Sacramento just beat their ass so many times. Like, please let that happen. Please let that happen. But and I'm looking at, and nobody wants to go to Golden State, and Golden State knows this. So I think all the top dogs, since they know Denver almost got it sold up with the number 1 seed for the most part, they play fucking San Antonio and Memphis, so they got it right.
Wait, so Denver let me ask this: so does Denver have the tiebreaker over Minnesota?
Yes.
Yeah, they just won last night.
No. I think they're tied. I think it's 2-2, Chaz. I think
with Denver and Minnie.
Yeah, but I think ironically, I think the Thunder have the tiebreaker with the Nuggets.
So do you think what I'm saying, Chris, is do you think Minnesota has to play out the entire year then, or do they punt the last game of the year? Because that would be huge. Because Phoenix is going to Minnesota, so like you need the Timberwolves to play. So that's why I keep asking.
Yeah, you need the Wolves to play, but the only way they play,
because they could also miss the 2 seed, right? Minnesota's got to play it out, right? Because then the 2 and 3 seeds up for grabs too. With OKC,
it depends on who they want to play though. Like OKC, they get the Bucks without Giannis tomorrow, and like if you Minnesota, now that you number 1 not really an option no more. So now it's up to 2 and 3. So it's either you want the Pelicans or you want the Suns, or that's really the only.
But look though, Chaz, that might be the issue. At least at 3, you know who you playing. At 2, you play anybody. Yeah, you don't know who you playing at 2. At least at 3. We got a whole week and some change to game plan for said team. You know what I mean?
So here you go, Chris. Minnesota owns the tiebreaker over OKC. Okay. So Minnesota's going to have to win out if they want the 2 seed, because they play. Who's Minnesota play tomorrow?
They play. Let me see.
God, this is crazy.
They play Atlanta, and so they play Atlanta.
And who's OKC have?
OKC got the Bucks
without Giannis. So they got to win those games. So you got to think they both win tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting. Jarrett, what do you think a win tomorrow does for this team?
I think it solidifies you at 6. I think you need to win. Matter of fact, you play better on the road anyway. Yeah. You might as well try to win now rather than later. This might be one of the only times this team has their destiny in their hands. Literally, it's in your hands. You got to win it, right? You don't want to get in a position where you're vying for a play-in spot, and you know how those go, right? Try to win now. I think to Chaz's point, like this team front runs a lot, so you kind of have to get out to a good start against that team, because if it gets to a point where you're trading bucket for bucket, you're not going to out execute them. Yeah. Now, the Warriors have a tendency to turn the ball over a shit ton, so you might be able to get back in the game. But I don't know if you're going to lean into your shooting enough, which would allow you to get back into games. I see that's my bugaboo with this team. I don't think they want to play that way at times. You have to be disciplined against the Warriors. They can be loose as a goose if they want to, but you have to be disciplined against the Warriors. If you allow Steph to go crazy, Clay's been playing really good.
Yeah, Clay's been really good.
So that second unit is really good too. So,
Follw, do you think there's any given how they played through Jonas tonight, thought that went really well. Looney hasn't been playing. I don't know if he's hurt. I mean, he hasn't been playing either way.
I think he played tonight.
Looney played tonight. I mean, he's not starting though, and like in theory, he's probably not going to start tomorrow. No, do you think there's an opportunity to just sort of rinse and repeat with what you did tonight?
The Warriors are too smart. I think Draymond kills all that shit. I think there was a time that, even Sabonis was able to guard Jonas on the block. Like, it's not a guarantee. Like, Jonas is gonna have to have a big game if you do that. Like, he has to guarantee you, like, he's gonna be able to score over Draymond. If Draymond's able to, be physical with him, push him out of the lane, he's missing the 15 to 17 footer. I don't think the Warriors are going to be like, let's go double him. No, we just put Draymond on him. Because, again, you're going to try to get a 2. We're going to shoot a 3. And the math ain't going to math with the Pelicans.
Wow,
Yeah,
wait, where'd it go?
Oh, sorry, guys.
Hold on. There we go. That's the real question, Five.
Now, I got the FOI. I don't know what you're trying to talk about. But I'm saying, if this game was in Oakland, where it used to be, the hoes is going to be in there. Now that the game is in San Francisco,
Yeah, San Francisco, real methy these days. San Francisco fell off a cliff.
This is who we play tomorrow. So I mean, yes, obviously we're going to talk about that.
How dare us be concerned about four-time NBA champions? How dare us?
Warriors in your head.
Warriors.
Thought this was still funny to 135 tonight. Who wants to do 5 seconds? Anybody want to do 5 seconds? Hope Lito shows back to. Yeah. Let's hear from Company Burger. We'll just get out of here. Let me pull up the Company Burger. All right. Company Burger is the official burger of Pro Pels Talk and Boot Crew Media. Located at 4600 Follw Street, Company Burger has been locally owned and operated for 11 years. Grind the meat, bake the buns, make the mayo, get the homemade tots. Company Burger uses Creekstone Farms prime beef to create the best burger in the city with milkshakes to go and a full bar. Company Burger is open every day besides Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Can't make it out? No worries, we have you covered. You can order online right now at thecompanyburger.com or check them out on the Toast or Uber Eats app. Company Burger, the official burger of Boot Crew Media. Yeah.
Hey, hold on. You know what's funny about this? I find something new to laugh at every time.
The part that got me just now said, "You can't make it out, can you?"
What does that mean?
I prefer the sheet, guys. Everybody fucking at him, man. But for real, we're joking around, but like 160 people in this room, man. Appreciate y'all. It's 12:30 here in New Orleans. 1:30. It's all over the world. Man, we really appreciate y'all, man. Smash the like button. Appreciate all these guys. They put in all the fucking hard work. Whether you like them or not, they put in the fucking work for y'all. So appreciate y'all. Tomorrow night against Golden State.
Do the fucking analysis.